I think it's so important that we have gender equality in Australia because we're all equal, so I don't see why men should be paid any more than women.
There's a lot of talk around pay imbalances between men and women. I think a lot of things contribute to that, whether that's societal expectations or just the way the system works better towards individuals who don't have particular gender expectations placed upon them.
I have to think about what I have to wear all the time and how I act and how I speak.
And I think women just have to prove themselves a little bit more. You sort of have to put in a little extra effort to get recognised.
The respect for the women, no matter what they do or what they have, or respect human beings start. So, I mean, if you look at it in a broader perspective, what would justify being violent to my neighbour? What would justify to be violent to my boss or my whoever is coming along my way? You know, what would justify that?
For me, growing up as a multicultural and ethnic girl, not seeing a lot of women in power, especially those that look like me, was really difficult. And I also try and step out of those bounds and just hey, I can do that same stuff too, you know, and be one of those first examples for all the other girls out there.
The way in which we raise our children and the way in which they understand how other people's genders and other people's lives exist. I think it starts from a really, really young, nurture level, not just from a, later on in life. Definitely I think we need to do that, but I think if we get them young, which sounds terrible, if we get them young and we teach them in the ways of equality and that there isn't that power imbalance, then you're never going to know how to treat anyone any differently if you already know the right thing to do.
This, communication, a voice, like what we're doing right now, conversation.
I'm in my mid-30s, and even from my early 20s was something that we were just taught to accept, and now we're not. And it's just so exciting to see, so many women just not accepting that anymore. Sweeping stuff under the carpet just means that eventually someone's going to move that carpet when you move house one day, and you're going to have to deal with all of the gross stuff underneath.
If we have problems, we should voice them out. It's really important to voice out our problems because otherwise it's just going to infect us and the future generations in front of us as well.
To point out equalities, name and shame businesses if they're doing the wrong thing. Don't let things get brushed under the rug. I think it's really important. Just keep going, keep pushing.
Making sustainable changes in the system is to have a lot of talk with the stakeholders you're designing policy for. So whether that's thinking about co-design and involving different individuals from different communities.
It's essential that you have well-funded, consistent programs for men. We know that domestic violence happens across all cultures. It happens across all kinds of sexualities. But we know that predominantly it's men being abusive towards women.
To listen, to have big ears and not so much talking from the government. Just really listen and understanding and then going according to what the researchers have found. Let them be women, let them be men. Doesn't matter what gender, where they come from. Just listen.
Gender is really, what is it really? I guess it's just about empowering one another. That's how I see it, honestly.
Because we're all human. Why would any human deserve more or less than any others?
Gender equality is really important because we're all the same and we should all be treated the same.